Alright, good evening heroes and heroines, and welcome back to Practising Programming in C. So what kind of occurred to me since the last stream is that I might have left some spurious stuff in. Basically, I don't think I'm correctly freeing the template, possibly. Either the template or the errors. Well, I got the errors. No, I'm dealing with the errors, aren't I? I think maybe I'm not dealing with the template correctly. So I just want to go through and just double check that I'm doing that. Yeah, bring the template location. Hang on a second, why is that? Why are we down here already? Free the memory arena location. Yeah, right, so this is down here. So pretty sure I'd need to free the template location. $19.12. Multiple annotators. Yep. Return 1. And then this is free the memory arena. Have I used the template yet? I think I have actually. Yeah. Yeah. So we could still get to here. And we'll need to free the template. And then here we need to free the template again. There we go. I think that's a bit more like it. Because otherwise we could end up in a situation where you write an invalid annotation file, causing it to kind of die, but you're leaving the template hanging around. We're freeing the errors in both situations here. Yeah, we need the errors for this little thing down here. Okay, so I think that's straightened out something that we didn't take care of before. So now let's get on with the quotes. Build quotes, okay. So basically, I've got to change this build quote thing to pull from insobot's quote store. Which also means that the quote directory, we're going to remove that. It was kind of exciting. So in order to do this, I need to learn how to curl. Oops. Little compact. GNU tools. So I'm looking for .h file. Curl. Ah, right, maybe it's not libcurl. Right, so it should be under user include, I believe. Yeah, right. So it's just curl.h. So I presume I need to include it as curl/curl.h. Could even get so far as. The shock of including a library. So, from memory, right, I think Sean McGrath, I think he really limits the stuff that he includes. And from memory, which is going to try and do a plain stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, I probably will at some point. Because I would like to learn how to do sockets. But I think as a first pass, as it were, I think I'll just use curl lib. But yeah, I seem to recall Sean mentioning that other than SGB libs, the only library he uses is actually libcurl. You could say with the HTTP4s for the rough. Could say with the, oh right, I see. Well, I mean, yeah, even that might be good to learn. I mean, off the top of my head, I've got no idea at all how I'd handle SSH. Or SSL, isn't it? Is it SSL? Yeah, I presume it's SSL. But I kind of feel like that's something that I'd have to learn it at some point anyway. HTTPS uses SSL, TLS, which are the same thing, right? Yeah. Doing that without a library would be pretty insane. Yeah. I mean, maybe, surely there's a library for SSL. Curl version system.h. Support defs C. There are. So it's actually possible that some of the guys that curl is including actually include stuff themselves. Embed TLS is pretty good, and OpenSource, so it's a classic one. Ugly. Embed TLS. Mdeb. Embed TLS. Pretty good. OpenSL is the classic one. So, I mean, you would assume that OpenSSL would be included here somewhere, maybe? Failed to shut down the SSL connection. Curl code. Easy handle actually, and OpenSSL XL CTX context. I mean, unless curl does all the stuff itself. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really seeing anything. That super obviously includes when FTP over SSL TLS is selected. The curl can link to different SSL backends. It might be hidden from the header. Ah, right. Okay. With curl opt, use SSL. So I will need to use curl opt SSL, I presume. This option can be used to change libcurl's default action, which is to first try auth SSL, and then auth TLS in this order and proceed with it. Okay, responsive. When that's in this option. Let libcurl decide. Yeah, I presume it is FTP as well that I'm actually doing. But let's make a note of that. Curl opt use SSL. Oh, actually, let's put it up here as well. There's no reason to change libcurl default action. Certificate status. Curl no oldies. That's a bit ageist. Define this as a test if your app builds with all the obsolete stuff removed. Interesting. Define this as a test if your app builds with all... That sounds like something I might like to do. Did I just delete that? Yeah. So, put it in there. This is set if curl no oldies is defined. As far as I know, I don't want this stuff is doing. I think you'll mainly just need curl easy init, curl easy set opt with curl opt URL, and curl easy perform. Oh, okay. Let's just do one scan to the bottom of the file. It's interesting when you see this sort of thing happening, by the way, because I'd be tempted to shift them up to save me having to calculate the actual power of 2. Oh, nothing. More SSL stuff down here. Is that another one of those? There we go, so they're shifting up here. Interesting. What is this? Curl info. Okay. Yeah, they are shifting up a lot. Alright. So, what did I make a note of? Curl up to use SSL. Curl up to URL. Okay. Curl no oldies. Okay. So the things I'm going to need are curl easy init, curl easy setopt with curl opt URL and curl easy perform. Well, hang on, let me just separate those guys. Curl easy perform. Oh, actually, I could just, can I do this? C tags. Still can't find it. That's unfortunate. And did I actually include, oh, I'm in the wrong file. That's why. Curl. They have a very basic example on the website if you want me to link it. So, yeah, I was kind of thinking of avoiding an example, but maybe I'll need it. I was thinking it might be interesting to see if I could figure it out, if you know what I mean. I still can't find it, which is unfortunate. It's a curl easy init. So I can't find that, unfortunately. Curl easy setup, curl opt URL. Curl opt URL. Oh, actually, it's possible that it's not in this file, isn't it? Oh, and it's probably in easy. Yeah, here we go. So, curl easy init. Oh, that's interesting. So these are the guys. Set up and perform. That's it. Curl easy get info. Curl external. Curl easy init void. Yeah, you can probably just find it by Google DDG, etc. Curl easy setup. Curl easy. External C. Was a my first most of this function if needed. Ah, right. Aha. Interesting. This function must be the first function to call. In fact, the man pages would probably be better than the H files, probably. Hopefully, anyway. This call must have a corresponding call to curl easy cleanup when the operation is complete. Okay. If you did not call that, curl easy init does this may be lethal in multi-threaded cases. This kill global init is not thread safe and moves out into resource problems because there's no corresponding cleanup. You are strongly advised to not allow this automatic behavior by calling curl global init yourself properly. Really? See the description kill of global environment. This is how to use this function. If this function returns null, something wrong, you cannot use the other curl functions. Oh, and there's an example here. Copy and paste coding. Right. So this is it, isn't it? Hang on a minute. Result is equal to that. So hang on a minute. So this is going to curl the stuff into a buffer of my choosing, I presume, isn't it? So is this literally all you need to do? How do I do this? I don't know. Oh, actually, curl code is. Oh, it's actually. Oh, it's one of those. Ah, right. So I presume I need to define something for curl. Fortunately, easier models of include files need options and info stuff before they can be included. Oh, hang on a minute. You need to add curl to a compiler command line. Oh, right. Right. Because it's not in my path. Well, not in my yeah, not in my immediate directory, I presume, maybe. Or because it's not in because it's not a built-in. Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's actually get one of insobot's URLs. Let's use Handmade Hero. Well, actually, yeah, let's use Handmade Hero. So we've done that. We've used curl easy init. Well, we haven't, have we? What have we actually done? Curl easy setup. Oh yeah, we have done curl easy init. Curl easy setup with curl opt URL. Curl URL perform. Interesting. Don't has an online type in unsigned int. Oakley dokley. Results. Oh. That was interesting. So Clang doesn't have the no PIE. Oh wow. Holy shit. Wait a minute. How is that just an unsigned int? Oh, wait a second. Oh, but yeah, that is the print. Let's actually just take somebody who's a bit shorter, just for testing purposes. When you call perform, the default it sends. Oh, right. Okay. I see. So let's see what else you can do with it. A blocking file transfer. So there was something a bit troubling about that actually, and that's the length of time that it takes to actually pull the stuff. So maybe I would like to cache this locally. I bet this function has a curly in it, and all the curly setups call are made. And will perform the transfer as described in the options. It must be called with the same easy handle as input as a curly unit call returned. Curly easy performs the entire request in a blocking manner and returns done, or if it failed. For non-blocking errors, you curl multi perform. So presumably set opt is what I'd use to tell it where to put it. Do you any matter calls to curly easy perform while using the same easy handle? You tend to transfer more than one file. You're even encouraged to do so. Okay, well then I'll attempt to reuse the same connection for the following transfers. Does make the operations faster, less CPU intense and using less network resources. You have to use curl easy setup between the invokes. The invocations, come on. To set options of the following curl easy perform. You must never call this function simultaneously when two places using the same easy handle. Let the function return first before invoking it another time. If you want parallel transfers, you must use several curl easy handles. While the easy handle is added to a multi-handle, it cannot be used by curl easy perform. Curl echo 0 means everything was okay, and non-zero means an error occurred, as curl.h defines. So libcurl errors. If the curl error buffer was set, with curl easy set, there will be a readable error message in the error buffer when non-zero is returned. Okay. So let's see what the options are. Read this manually carefully. Read this manually carefully. Read this manual carefully. As bad input values may cause libcurl to behave badly, you can only set one option in each function call. A typical application uses many curl easy setup calls in the setup phase. Okay. Options set with this function call are valid for all forthcoming transfers performed using this handle. The options are not in any way reset between transfers, so if you want subsequent transfers with different options, you must change them between transfers. You can optionally reset all options back to internal default with curl easy reset. Strings passed to libcurl as car star arguments are copied by the library. Thus, the string storage associated to the pointer argument may be overwritten after curl easy setup returns. The only exception to this rule is really curl opt post fields, but the alternative that copies the string, curl opt copy post fields, has some usage characteristics you need to read up on. The order in which the options are set does not matter. Before version 7.17, strings were not copied. Instead, the user was forced to keep them available until libcurl no longer needed them. The string storage associated with the pointer argument may be overwritten. So I am going to want to pass, well, I'm going to want to construct a URL to pass here. Strings passed to libcurl as cast arguments are copied by the library, thus the string storage associated to the pointer argument will be rewritten. I mean, that's something to bear in mind, I guess. Data pointed to pass to the right callback. Callback for reading data. Error buffer. Interesting. So I did an error buffer just earlier for the template stuff. Names and passwords options. So yeah, it was just that right, wasn't it? Callback for writing data. Callback for reading data. I feel like it is write data. It'd probably be easier actually to do the this one, the right data pointer is to pass to the right callback. You must make a pointer a file star. The libcode passes to fwrite when writing data. Find out what this is a file to standard out. There we go, yeah. Write the data to the file star given with this option. Interesting. A common technique is use the right callback to store the incoming data into a dynamically growing allocated buffer. Then this curl opt write data is used to point to a struct or the buffer to store data in, like in the get in memory example. The right callback. Store the incoming data into right callback. So that needs to be probably a function pointer. Should match the product shown above. This callback function gets called by libcurl as soon as there's data received that needs to be saved. Pointer points to the delivered data, and the size of that data is size multiplied with nmemb. The callback function will be passed as much data as possible in all invokes, but you must not make any assumptions. It may be 1 byte, it may be thousands. The maximum amount of body data that will be passed to the right callback is defined in the curl.h header file. Curl max write size. The usual default is 16 kilobytes. If curl opt header is enabled, which makes header data get passed to the right callback, you can get up to curl max HTTP header bytes of header data passed into it. This usually means 100k. This function may be called with 0 bytes data if the transferred file is empty. The data passed to this function will not be zero terminated. Okay. Set the user data argument with the curl opt write data option. Your callback should return the number of bytes actually taken care of. If that amount differs from the amount passed to your callback function, it'll signal an error condition to the library. This will cause the transfer to get aborted, and the libcurl function will return curl e write error. If your callback function returns curl write func pause, it will cause this transfer to become paused. Set this option to null to get the internal default function used instead of your callback. The internal default function will write the data to the file star given with curl opt write data. Look, we'll use fwrite as a callback by default. Fwrite. So that writes to files or standard out, which is no good for me. Curl opt write function. This callback function gets called by libcurl as soon as the data needs to be saved. Pointer points to the delivered data. The size of that data is size multiplied with the nmb. The call will pass as much data as possible. What was the other thing? Curl ops right function. Nope. Curl use set opt. Handle curl right function back. Curl handle. So presumably you just do that, I guess. Well, builds. Oops. Pointer points to the delivered data. The size of the data is size multiplied with nmb. Well, hang on a minute. What? User data. So presumably, a pointer to user. Presumably, this is the buffer that I send it. So I'm sort of saying size times nmb. So while we have got something, well, hang on a minute. Could that be at all right? Well, yeah, it does build. Well, user data at I plus plus, is that right? Is equal to pointer at I plus plus. No, that's complete rubbish. That's it. That's what you need to do. Is that right? Hang on. I think that's it. User data, so the right callback. So how do I know, how do I tell it to write into that storage? So yeah, that's the right function, but the right data. Custom pointer passed to the right callback. Right. Here we go. A data pointer passed to the right callback if you use the curl right function option. This is the pointer that you get in that callback's both arguments. You don't use the right callback, you must have pointed at file. Pass the right one. So apparently there's nothing in there. Let's just see what this does. I have 2 eyes. Oh god, yeah. Like most people. Yeah. Interesting. So I've done it, haven't I? I've like written into the guy. Okay. Played HTTP should work now too, by the way. Okay, cool. I mean, I haven't even touched SSL, so that must have just happened automatically. So then it's just a case of passing the stuff out. Let's just see. Yeah, I mean it just did work, didn't it? Size times nmb. So really what we're saying is this is like our buffer. Pointer. That's our buffer, and this is our like in pointer. Size is obviously size, and then memb is whatever that is. Oh, right, yeah. Well, actually, let's just see exactly what that is actually. nmb. The size of that data is size multiplied with nmb. Yeah, that's all there is. I mean, I kind of feel like nmb is telling us how many bytes each character is. Well, let's just do that. Let's print it out. Okay. That's okay. So maybe the size is telling us the size of each character, the size of each byte, and this is telling us the total size. like on a car length. Would that be right? Seems alright to me. And this is going to be characters. Right. I think that makes sense to me. And then the right callback. This is just curl into buffer, basically. What did I call them again? It was like both categories. Copy string to buffer. Curl into buffer should be fine. Oops. Oh, it's still building. Okay. So that seems to be all I need. So curl into buffer. Size T. I mean, yeah, I guess. So, yeah. So this goes to reverse. So basically, rather than doing these guys, I want to do the other thing. So where's the malloc? There's a malloc here. I suppose I just need to guess at an amount to give it. Because I couldn't just do this, could I? No. So yeah, don't put in that I think curl can call the cover multiple times with chunks of data as it gets them. Ah. Okay. Oh, right. I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, like so if I put that there, all we want to know is so then rather than doing this, we do this. And then we say that. So then we need to pass it. We need to pass the actual address, don't we? Would that be right? Well, that seems to build. Okay, so if we try and do that. It's caused by write memory access. And curl into buffer. So we're trying to write into there. Oh, right. Yeah. So that seems to have done it. Bit miffed that I wasn't supposed to do that though. I guess that's fine. So let's just try Handmade Hero, because that's quite a long. Well, I mean, even this might not be long enough to make it do multiple calls. Ah, here we go. Is that just? That can't be for meg, can it? There's a right of size 1. Cool. It's located 0. Oh wow! It's located 0 bytes to the right of that region. Seriously? 4 kilobytes. Oh, maybe actually 4 kilobytes. Yeah. So we are putting a null pointer there, but we're not incrementing. So in theory, so this should be just incrementing the pointer, I would have thought. Oh, hang on. Unless I'm supposed to do this. Nope. Okay. So presumably that's the first chunk. So what happens if I don't do this? I mean, it should crash at some point. Yes, it does get further. Are there larger numbers than 4096? Yeah, we need larger numbers than 4096, unfortunately. So it ran to the same position again. It's interesting. I suppose actually I don't need to do that there. I could actually do this here. Well, printf. Printf length, and after having done all this, so where am I getting to? Okay, so so again, a couple of chunks of data. And for some reason, our storage pointer is ending up way up there. Alpha points plus plus is equal to in pointer at I. Let's just double check that this is the same value again. Yeah. So storage pointer take away storage. So like we've given it that much space. Let's give it another 0. Well, hang on a minute. Don't want to allocate all of my memory. Well, hang on a minute. How can I test this? Because this is going to start to go negative somewhere in here. Curl code res result. I guess we just step through it and we just sort of say, yeah, we could do that. We could step through it because we will have the we will have storage available to us. The problem is, if you want to increment the point and have that stick, you need to pass it in as a car star. Right, yeah, I thought that as well, actually. I thought that I'd have to do that, but when I tried to do that, it was like, it was having none of it, basically. I thought I'd need to do this. Right. And then, oh, hang on, is it this? Well, it wasn't quite that. What's that actually giving me? Because that isn't correct. I really need to get better at understanding this sort of stuff. Storage pointer is currently a pointer to a car. Yeah, and then if I want to increment that, I increment that guy. So let's just see what this is saying now. Overflows this variable. Readers add out to that. Curl into buffer. Storage pointer. This may be false positive if your program uses a custom stack on one because it must swap context, but it doesn't. Overflows this variable. So it's a car. Hang on. Well, hang on. Car star star. Oh. Well, hang on. No, it's not even that, is it? I was going to say, is it needs to be that? But that's nothing to do with it. The memory access at offset 40 overflows this variable. Stack of thread 0. So this address in this frame is one object. Storage pointer, memory access. Ah. Could it be that it's because it's a car? Oh gosh, it's one of these things, is it? Gosh. That's like that. Oh, I hate this kind of stuff. Wow, that was it. God, that's such a nightmare. Yeah. So we've printed out all the stuff. Apparently. You can separate them out to make it clearer. Yeah. Well, hold on. That. Oh, God. I think I might keep it as it was, actually. We're still not getting all of the file though. For some reason. Because this should have like 400 quotes, shouldn't it? Yeah, 600. I'm only getting 211 of them. So why is that happening, I wonder? I mean, we're managing to get 2 chunks. You need to return the length of the callback or it ends early. Oh, right. Ah, right. Oh, just the length. Oh, God. Kind of fortunate that I computed it up there, wasn't it? So yeah, I guess you turn the length, and then it knows. It can keep track of where it is in the thing, I guess. So interesting, we're getting a bunch of chunks. That's kind of cool. And we end up with that much. So we've got yeah. So we've got a buffer that big, which is it contains that. So what we're saying about. I mean, technically, I could use a rolling buffer. Oh no, I couldn't. Well, could I? Yeah, I suppose that's another question as to how I can actually do that. Well, hang on a second. Curl into buffer, right? When I call this callback, I will have the information from one of the chunks in here, right? So at that point, couldn't I just pass that chunk? I suppose it might be an incomplete line, mightn't it? Yeah, it could be an incomplete line. So maybe I couldn't be cute with that. Yeah, so maybe I need to keep that as it is. Just give us one moment. Just need to take a short break. I'll be right back. And I'll give the I'll put the be right back screen up as well. So, hang on a minute, didn't it say that it wasn't null terminated? So how do I know how much to print out? Because it did say that, didn't it? Because this was definitely ending, wasn't it? So I presume that that's all right. And I don't need to worry about null termination. So let's just see if I can get a handle on what's going on here. Curl to res. Calculate res. The red is performed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even using any of these things. Maybe I should just leave that as is. So yeah, curl into buffer. I think I should add a null or put it the size. It probably works at the moment because your mallet gets lucky. Okay, right. Pretty sure that should be fine. Free storage. So yeah, the only thing I need to do is to construct this URL and parse the stuff. Right, kill to buffer. And then all we're doing here is replacing this little bit here with this. Quote URL. Oh, right. God. This situation. Oh right, yeah. Oh, buffer, yeah. So, fine. I mean, why not just make it a buffer storage? And then we say that storage printf. Don't need printf. Buffer storage. Well, hang on a minute. Yeah, and it's also not really this, is it? It's like the like a quote holding cell kind of a thing. Quote staging. And then this is going to be I think I free buffer, yeah. Right, free buffer call. To have written into the thing. Hang on a minute, didn't we say that this returns the length? Hang on. That's annoying. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. So apparently that's okay, I think. It's a bit troubling that happens. Well, actually, let's just see what it is. Oh, and I, yeah, I now need a file that's got quotes in. Where's that error coming from? Consider pulling the latest quotes. Oh. Oh, I don't pass it like that. Well, maybe I do. 1422. Oh, right. I see. So we've mallocked the errors, but we're not freeing them somewhere. Let's just undo all of this stuff. Okay, cool. So this isn't the culprit. So it's the previous stream's work. Damn. I wonder why. 3 hours to location. The 3 hours to location 1. So how can I actually determine this? Because either way, errors should have been cleared up. I think. So it is kilobytes. It's 1 kilobyte. It has templates. Oh, right. It was only on the if else template. So let's put it inside the template bit. 1426 now. So okay, so it's still this guy that's dying. If we have a template, I mean, like, so what's this path here? Oh, right. Oh, if we're in integrate mode. I see. I suppose that's fair. But it's like, I mean, you're kind of suggesting to me that I don't need this. Well, it's like a case of when do I bother to validate the thing? Do I bother do it every time, or only if we're integrating? Probably only if we're integrating, actually. Probably. So that is probably alright. In which case, actually, let's move this out. Right. And then I should be able to move this inside here. Yeah. And also, technically, there. Yeah. Okay. Alright, yeah. So, after that little diversion, quote, build quote. So what we're printing out here, we're printing out the URL which we've got, that's correct. And the other thing that we're printing off is the res. I mean, do I really need res? I mean, they say I don't. Why do we need res? Res. So that was 0, wasn't it? I suppose we want to error, maybe? If that... Oops. Well, it's because you pass it to curly, don't know to see what. Ah, right, okay. Okay, cool. So we don't need this big of a buffer. What were we saying? It was like 2 to the power something, wasn't it? 2 to the power 20. Which is a car star. Ah, right. Okay. Yeah, 2 to the power 20. Okay. Oh yeah, I should have actually checked the manual for that, shouldn't I? Const car star, yeah. Curly is a string describing the code error code passed in the argument error num. I also appreciate curl opt error buffer for more specific error description generated at runtime. Error buffer. I mean, I think I'll leave that for now, I think. So there's our buffer. Actually, is that 20 kilobytes? Probably do the F print with that. Oh, okay. What if that string contains a thing? Stuff is going to explode. Oh, right. Good point. Wow, interesting, yeah. Yeah. So, calc. Yeah, 150.20, so that is 1 kilobyte, I believe. Oh no, 1 megabyte. Wow, is that what I'm giving it? I'm giving it a megabyte for the quotes. That seems a bit excessive. Let's just see how big the handmade hero ones were. Oh, sod it. Let's give it a megabyte. Handmade hero is 48k. Okay. Let's give him 256k. That should be enough for anyone, shouldn't it? Yeah, let's say that's enough. Yeah, and also is equal to it's more like it. and the ID. Right. Okay. So we've read the stuff into the quote staging buffer. So wherever I see free buffer, oh wow, is that the only one? So we've written the stuff into our quote staging thing before we well, it is null terminated anyway, isn't it? So we could sort of say well, that's not a null pointer. In pointer. What are we passing in here? Info, speaker. So we've done these guys. So yeah, so wherever I see in pointer, I need to change that to be quote staging dot pointer, I reckon. Unless I probably want to rewrite this, honestly. Um, because it's slightly different, isn't it? So yeah, let's just see about this. That's this while. Retrieval for quote staging. Oops. Fantastic. Yeah, so the only issue here is that the error message is incorrect. All right, so we're going to come in. So the NID, out pointer is equal to NID, while in pointer is not equal to that. Ah, okay, NID. So it's like the quote, yeah, right. So that seems fine so far, I think. I think. The only difference being, yeah, the only difference being that we change endpoint to plus plus, you know, endpoint to be the thing, right? So we just substitute in pointer for quote staging pointer. Wait. Why can't I just like completely just wholesale copy this? Oh, hang on. Let's just simplify this a bit. Let's just substitute all of those. Right. It's possible that this isn't correct down here. So we're going to come in and we're going to say in pointers, we're going to give ourselves 4 characters for the in ID. We're going to give ourselves a pointer for the out pointer on the in ID for some reason. While the quote staging pointer is not equal to a comma, yeah, we're going to say that that is equal to that. And then we're going to say the out pointer is equal to that. If string went on the in ID, so the in ID is that thing. If that is equal to the ID passed to us, then we say quote staging pointer plus equals 2. And then we're saying that we're into the info date. Well, that's not equal to that. Okay. Well, that's not correct. So the quote staging pointer, well, that's not equal to that. So it will become equal to that. Then I reckon this should be plus equal to 1. And then this guy should be that. So yeah, it's giving us the date. And then again, we're going to increment 1. The output is equal to the info text. And then we're going to say well, it's not equal to a new line. Yeah, right. Is there anything in here that I need to be aware of, actually? Insofar as, like, are there any escaping things that I need to do? There's no escaping needed. Okay, cool. So I won't bother then. Oh, is equal to that. So if I'm converting the data, oh right, yeah, the data epoch. Yeah, true. Ah, right, yeah. So otherwise, we're just going to increment to the next thing. That seems reasonable, I think. So, well, that does build. It does build. So the date. Info date. So what is info date exactly? Quote info. Date is just a 32 character string. Okay. So quote info date. So that just writes out that wholesale, I believe. So we're going to have a number for the date. Interesting. According to the notes, it was GM time plus string F time. I'll tell you what, let's just see what happens. Wow, okay, so it did work. Gosh, that's pretty awesome. So the only thing I need to do, yeah, is the conversion. Transform date and time to broken down time or ASCII. The C time, G time, and local time functions all take an argument of data type, type 2 returns a calendar time. Numbers analysis, yeah. Okay. Defined in time.h as follows. Oh, do I need to include time.h? Yeah, I do, don't I? God. Wow, I'm getting a bit include heavy today. Okay. So then we've got the date. So, yeah. Info date. So really, before setting that to be the info date, I probably want to say, I probably want to give us some number of characters for the out pointer, for the epoch number, which is in 32 bits, I believe. It's like a 32-bit int. Or rather, it is a that's a point, actually. How many characters is that going to be? One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 characters for that. So presumably I want to run that on that. Oops. Interesting. It expects constant time, long int. Arguments is type that. Oh, right. Damn. So string to int. And it wants it to be a long int. Really? Hang on. Expect a const time t. Const long int. Star. But arguments to type int. Oh, right. Hang on. So yeah, sorry, it wants so hang on. If I don't do the string to int, let's have a look again. GM time takes the const time t in time epoch. But it was saying so it's a long int star. Hang on, string to int. But it needs to be a star. No. But it's a point of material why it's not going to have to cast. Ah. Okay. So what was actually given me? GM time. That's returned. Oh right, it's returned all of these guys. That's something to do with that from a pointer. Passing argument to a string time. Oh. So this takes a car S, max format, TM. The preferred date and time reserved for the current locale. Well, hold on a second. String from time. So it returns a size T. Places the result in the character array S of size max. Oh, right. So I need to pass that, my output thing. Of size max. Well, wasn't it? Quote info. Yeah, 32 for the date. Format. And the type. Oh, right. Oh, I see. So the format has to be there. Right. And then that. So this is going to return an LD. Does it though? In time. In time is turn. $24. Oh, hang on. What if I were to now print off the info date? Ah, interesting. That's cool. So right. work out its full month name. B. Okay. So is there a little ready-made thing for the like the name? I think OB. So yeah, right. Day of month is that. So yeah. Small d, capital B, small d, capital B. Oh, C is the old. Yeah, I wasn't really happy with the old format, honestly. Yeah, I always thought that kind of needed to be nicened up a bit. Would this be valid? Not sure if this would be okay. Oh, it is. Okay. So, presumably that would just work. Now, test time. A string to int in time. I don't want to be using string test time. I want to be using. So that needs to, yeah, long int test time. And that needs to be the address of test time. So how do I get myself to do this now? I mean, it just seems to me like I want to be doing hold on a minute. In time is 16. So it needs to be, hang on, test time. So this is string to int. It's a long int. So it's a it's the address of that. So why can't I just sort of say yeah, I just can't, can I? I mean, time in, int. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit puzzling though. So I've got the in time as a car. It needs to be read into the string. The in time. And then, yeah, it would be nice if I could just pass this straight to GM time Unless maybe it's just not possible. It's like let's just see. Because what I'm essentially thinking of doing is casting this. String to int. I expected that before string to int. Yeah, because I feel like I'm trying to cast that. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to bother. And maybe I won't. So yeah. There we have it. Yeah, it's actually 16th of November 2016. Might be nice actually if I use the credential. Because like here we have Miu Iwakura. Might be cool if it said that here. Do I have that information? What should we do? Danny McGee, hello. How's it going? Quote info. Speaker. Yeah, actually I suppose when I call build quote, I suppose I could pass as the speaker. Oh, actually no, because I need the I do need the actual username. Okay, well, how would you say? I'm very well, cheers, very well. I have accomplished a couple of things today. The first one was allowing us to like basically force integration with an incomplete template. So let me just show you what that means. Basically, the template needs to contain this tag and these three tags. But I basically made it so you can kind of miss stuff out. So if I just run this, it should complain. Yeah. So it says Cinera script must come after this, and the template must include want and replay a tag. But what you can do is you can now force it. Oh no! Template must include want and replay a tag. God, I'm sure this worked before. So yeah, I'm gonna have to debug that, I guess. But the other thing that I've just done, is pulling from insobot's quote store. Because previously the way you had to do the quotes was you needed to git clone them manually and put them into a particular directory. But now the whole program just pulls it itself. What was the address has that output from? It's from GCC. Yeah. Where was that? Oh, this output center. Yeah. Yeah, it's from GCC. And why was this again? I can't remember why that was actually now. But yeah, it's from GCC. Yeah, so let's just double check what's going on here now. Never seen that. Oh, okay. Well, the way to get it up is to just pass this. Just need to pass that to GCC. So basically, for me, it catches buffer overflows and like allocations that you haven't freed, basically. So yeah, let's just see about this template stuff now. Template must include one. So template must include one of those. So yeah, if we have errors and found includes correct usually uses most of the time F stands for address and F stands for undefined, yeah. Right. Do you know who I am? I wonder if you remember me. Danny McGee. I mean, I know your name from the chat, obviously. I mean, since you asked, we must have met. We must have met at the con. Right. The Dandy Highwayman. Serious Pie. Oh, Serious Pie was the pizza place, wasn't it? So that was in the first year of Handmade Con. Serious Pie. Is that right? Serious Pie? Or actually was it this year? Oh my gosh. I do remember you, yeah. Possible general, possible. So you know what? I don't think. Did you tell me your handle? I'm not sure if I can remember you telling me your handle, but I do definitely remember. I remember chatting to you about that. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you popped into my mind at some point for some reason. Why would that have been? But I knew you wouldn't remember. Ah, right, okay. That's why I asked you that question. The monitor thing. I forget that concept. Well, I'm honoured to be considered an engineer, honestly. Yeah, I think you popped into my mind because I was thinking about another thing I was going to try and do. So there's a program that I watch called Countdown. Right. Let me just see if I can give you this link. I think it's a game show. Yeah, right. So this is a game that I kind of it's a TV program that I watch and enjoy. Professional emphasis. And something I'd like to do is make a thing that's exactly this as well. Yeah. Is make a thing that. So one of the rounds in Countdown is a numbers round, and basically it's like you get 6 numbers and a total, and basically you need to kind of use these 6 numbers in some way to calculate the total. And this thing that I was thinking of doing was it's basically a thing that computes whether you could get the total, basically. And it'd like give you the solution. And the way I was thinking of doing it was like just iterating through everyone. I think through all the possible combinations. And I think it was that reminded me of your idea of like going through all the possible images that you could generate from bitmaps. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that did. I'm pretty sure that thought did occur to me sometime not too long ago, and yeah, you occurred to me in that thought. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool to actually remember. It's cool to put a name to a face. So yeah. So presumably now, I think this is generating the stuff. Well, maybe it's not generating actually, but I need to sort of say something here. If we don't have errors, then we do that. 3 errors location. Otherwise, so how can we have errors? Presumably we can only have errors if we are not forcing, presume. Have errors is equal to true. Yeah, so all these guys say force integration, if we're not forcing integration. If we're not forcing integration, have errors again. So yeah, if we don't have errors, otherwise, it's a bit unusual actually. I mean, what I'm kind of thinking in here is I need to say, if we're not forcing integration again. If we're not forcing integration, then we want to check all of these guys. And that should pass, yeah. Don't even get a very visual memory, but I know not everyone does. So try to come up with a fun way to help other people remember things they might not otherwise remember. It was a fun consideration. Yeah. So that kind of works now, doesn't it? Right. If I don't force it, it will error. But if I do force it, it won't. It just seems weird that I keep testing if we're not forcing integration. True. Ah, yeah, we're testing for different things, aren't we? That's what it is, isn't it? Because these guys are testing for contains more than one. But down here we're testing... We're saying that it must include at least one. Okay, so that does make sense. So if we're not forcing integration, then we need to test these guys. And then we print off the errors. If we have errors, then we sort of feel like this could go down there. I've had a new memory mnemonic for remembering how to cross product vectors in right hand. Well, because I got tired of messing up with stupid index finger. Thumb thing. That math teacher will tell you. I tried to draw it so hard to explain to other people. How to cross product vectors in right hand rule. Ah, okay. So, hang on a minute, hasn't Casey done this on Hamadero? Oh, mine was a new memory mnemonic. Right hand rule. Let's just try cross product. Using the cross product to produce normals. So yeah, this one here. Solving for the cross product version, the consideration. Oh, there's a question from Sweden, it popped up. If you imagine the surface as an implicit function f x, y, z equals 0, it's the gradient of that function which is the same as the cross product of the two surface tangents. So I've got to be honest, this just goes way over my head. So I feel like it's totally useless. Okay. Let's see. Cross product. X times B, A times B. Right. Is the determinant of a matrix? X crossed with Y equals the determinant of IJK. Mnemonic for remembering the cross product. Is that, well, hang on a minute. I'm just again typing out stuff that I don't need to be typing. In terms of a matrix. Right, JK. Did you remember how to calculate determinants of 3 by 3 matrices? Yeah. So, yeah. This is considered linear algebra, isn't it? As opposed to calculus. And those are both things that I sort of didn't really learn, actually. I mean, I was kind of alright at maths in primary school. But then, unfortunately, when I went to high school at the age of 11, I sort of lost all the momentum that I'd gathered up. I continued reading calculus and linear algebra. Right, so yeah, I don't really understand that, actually. Yeah, but unfortunately lost all the momentum in high school, and then I didn't even do maths at all in college. But had I continued from like primary school with the same kind of curriculum and the same kids and all the same teachers, I might have kind of gone on and done pretty well in maths, I guess. I mean, I still got like GCSE, like a B in maths, which was like, I got everything C, apart from maths, which I got a B in, and music, which I got an A in. But yeah, unfortunately, I really stalled on maths, unfortunately. I don't know if we're in the same direction. See, I do seem to recall Casey has drawn out like matrices. You put it as your best calculus. Okay. Put it in the brain now. I can imagine. A bit like me in template parsing. Or not, as the case may be, considering I screwed that up. So by the way, I can't hear this either, because Qt Browser can't talk to Jack. So I could actually, I could play it in MPV actually. Yeah, let's do that. How do I do this?
Hello everyone and welcome to Handmade Heroes, show where we code a complete game live on stream. Last week, I believe we got to the point where we have sort of a pretty clean version of our rendering system working, where we really... All right, so all of that sort of front-loading out of the way, let's talk about what the cross product actually is and why you might want to use it, bearing in mind that a deeper theoretical understanding of the math here would lead you to other things, and the cross product would kind of be sort of just this one form of the equations that you end up with if you're only considering a special case. All right.
Okay.
So we know that what I'm talking about in there, once a B, which is same so many times.
Yeah, what I'm looking for here is like, I'm sure that there was
dependent of
like a bit where he's kind of just drawn out like, well, hold on a second, what is this trying to do? It's like matrices. Yeah, it's multiplying matrices together, kind of, isn't it?
It's not this. That's exactly what you're out for.
Because what I'm basically saying is, I'm sure that I remember a bit where he's drawn a matrix at the left-hand side and a matrix above, and then he's kind of like summed them all together. Or not summed, but somehow calculated them together.
Length sign that comes actually that one that be sample if they are, which is like your values is the I can why did those I could be squared sine squared a squared plus a z squared bx squared plus
so
by squared plus
for the
bz squared
section.
Sine squared theta.
Equations
right? I mean, again, like, can't say I want to try and solve these equations, but in theory, at least, this is just a known quantity. This is just a known quantity. Does that help me? Not a particularly difficult equation.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to be able to find it. I was unfortunately dropping for interference. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry about that. That might be because... Oh, yeah, right. That'll be because of the downloading. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. That would have been because it was downloading. Yeah, but the video should... The recording should be okay, I think. I hope. Yeah, so the useless was that one, or whichever it was, like that. And pseudonyms mnemonic was this. Did I see the GIF of that? Yeah, this thing. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So sorry, that wasn't at all enlightening, I'm afraid. But yeah. I think we sorted this thing out now. Force integration. So we sorted that out, and hang on, let's go back to the template just to undo that change. So yeah, so I said that's the template. That gives us that. 2nd of December. So let's try with somebody else. Like, what else have I got here? Sysadmin HTML. Let's try with him. Oh, there's no quotes. Probably. I suppose what I could do is HTML. So quote. Ah, right, yeah, that's what I could do. I could say this. And that, oh, that was using the template, wasn't it? I don't need that necessarily. And there we go. Let's grab this quote, tweak now. I'm just going to use your config verbatim. That sounds like my conky config, I think. So yeah, that's cool. that works correctly. But then if I were to do like quote 256, I don't think Quirfy's had 256 quotes just yet. I need to change this. Quote Quirfy's not found. Right, consider. This is what I need to change. Yeah, if I can get there. HTML to consider pulling. Right. So this quote is not found. Double check that you've got the right number. I don't know. Unlucky, yeah, unlucky. Let's just go with that. That not found. Unlucky. So this means that we don't need the quote directory now. Wherever that is. Yeah. I mean, technically, I might actually want to reinstate this quote directory thing. If I want to cache it. Because you can see now that what's going to happen is every time I build, right, I'm going to be sitting here. If there's quotes in the thing, I'm going to be waiting for the thing to actually process. Which is just going to not really be that great. Yeah, that's time. Cache is probably a good idea. So yeah, I think we're talking about like a cache location. But because it's quite late, I'm not going to do that right now. It's like 1:30. 1:30 in the morning. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to pull out the default quote directory. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. And then make a note to actually cache the stuff. What you can request? That's interesting. Wow. Yeah, I mean the bottleneck here is actually fetching it, isn't it? And if I'm going to fetch one quote, I might as well fetch the whole lot. And parse it myself. This is quickly bringing the limit. Surface out stability. What explains the concept? Clever enough. Imagine turning a typical screw, right hand screw 1/4 turn 90 degrees from A to B. A crossed with B, or A times B is the direction the screw would travel. If A to B is clockwise, the screw tightens away from us. If A to B is counterclockwise, the screw loosens towards us. A crossed with B is the direction the screw would travel. A crossed with B. I have seen what a cross product is, yeah. I bet it does. I don't know how to explain cross product. I mean, I should know what a cross product is. Because Casey's mentioned it so many times. Fancy vector. Yeah, two vectors are perpendicular. The cross product is the third vector, which is perpendicular to both. Oh, sorry, they have two vectors are perpendicular. Right. The cross product is the third, which is perpendicular to both. Aha. One toward you, the one away from you. Ah, right. Interesting. So that crossed with this. Oh. Okay. So if I'm getting this right, A crossed with B should equal that. This is a bit of a guess, actually, honestly. But B crossed with A would be equal to. Hang on a minute. Why would that be the case? Okay, well, yeah, maybe that is the case. I don't know. Yeah, B crossed with A would be equal to that. Hang on a minute. Wait a second. Perpendicular to both. So that means it's got to be. We've got to use a new dimension, haven't we? A crossed with B could be equal to that. Because perpendicular is 90 degrees. Turns 3D to 2D to 3D, right? If I only had three hands, yeah. A cross product connected in two dimensions. Oh, right, okay. Wow. Imagine that you make a thumbs up sign with your right hand. So this is the thing, isn't it? It's that again. You don't the figures rotate first through A and then through B. They rotate first through A, then through B. Oh, right. So is he going round here? So you got A and then B. This is a cross product. The other is pointing in the direction of A, crossed with B. Oh, right. I see. Interesting. But if you end up in a situation where, like, your thumb is going the other direction, is that B crossed with A? How can I do this? It'd end up like that, I guess. Would that be correct? Oh no. Wait, this doesn't sign. Wait, this doesn't sign. Don't extend any other fingers. Okay. Okay. Or A cross with B in a left-handed coordinate system. Interesting. If figures rotate through B then A. Your thumb is pointing at B crossed with A. The default rule is called the right-hand rule. Let me reverse it. Oh, right. Wow. So, gosh. Had I not realised that all this time that it was like a 3D thing? I mean, it's quite possible I just didn't realise that. There's an outer product in 2D, which is the equivalent to the cross product. Ah. The equivalent of the cross product. So is the outer product then taking a one-dimensional thing and making the 2D perpendicular from it? You have to be able to visualize it in many different directions. So the screw thing is easy for Denobuchi to reunit it in his mind, whereas the hand thing not so much. If I and J are the unit vectors of a 2D plane, yeah, then I cross with J is equal to I, where I to the power 2, or I cross with is equal to minus 1. It's the complex number of the arcant plane. If I and J are the unit vectors of the 2D plane, I and J it's a complex number. I cross with J. And in this context, this means cross, doesn't it? Hang on a minute. Any unit imaginary quaternion squared is minus 1. Any unit imaginary quaternion squared. I and J are the unit vectors of the 2D plane, and I crossed with J is equal to I, where I squared is equal to minus 1. So is I a quaternion then in this situation? Any imaginary anything squared is minus 1. Hang on. Any units imaginary. How can we be covered in some late 60s, 70s, heavy on it? Unit imaginary anything. A quaternion with no real parts. Then that's not obvious result. So a quaternion, right, is a is a vector with 4 parts, isn't it? Anyway, that again. I take away because are all imaginary. Multiply together various ways to make each other. Each other, or 1, or minus 1. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if Sean mentioned this in his Intro to Quaternions video. Do you imagine yourself rolling money all around in unicorns? So yeah, another thing is like complex numbers. I don't even know what a complex number is, to my shame. Unless like something like pi is a complex number, but I can never remember what that is. There's like real numbers and complex numbers and uh, magic. Well, is magic one of the things? Perfect numbers. All these kinds of different numbers I just don't know. So obviously I squared equals j squared equals minus 1 because that's how they're defined. But I don't think it's obvious that I plus j divided by the square root of 2 squared is minus 1. There's no actually more because of the similar web too. In fact, I don't think magic numbers is any of those is actually a thing. I don't think. So as long as you ignore semi-complex numbers for the purpose of this discussion. Complex number. Don't mind us. I like the MTW. Look at this. Magic number. Yeah, right. This is what I was. Yeah, I just remember in that. Probably did that math, yeah. Let's read at least this intro. What is it with the format? This expression A is called the real power. Complex numbers extend the concept of the one-dimensional number 9 to a two-dimensional complex plane by using the horizontal axis for the real part and the vertical axis for the imaginary parts. The complex number A plus BI can be identified with the point AB in the complex plane. A complex number whose real part is 0 is said to be purely imaginary. Whereas a complex number whose imaginary part is 0 is a real number. Okay. In this way, the complex numbers are a field extension of the ordinary real numbers in order to solve problems that cannot be solved with real numbers alone. As well as these with mathematics, complex numbers have practical applications in many fields, including physics, chemistry, biology, economics, engineering, and statistics. The Italian mathematician Girolamo Cardano is the first person known to have introduced complex numbers. He called them fictitious during his attempts to find solutions to cubic equations in the 16th century. Blimey, I am behind the times. Oh. Okay, a squared plus 1 is equal to 0. Imaginary unit. There is no real number having a negative square. Double square root. Blimey. For the history of the imaginary unit. See this? So we're back here. Amazing. You can man complex, can you? Really? Amazing. Basic complex maths. For example, you'll see about complex number is supposed to see on a standard, link with LM. Gosh, there's so much to learn, honestly. See, now it's operating over learning stuff then built in. Cool. You do see the rotation on this, and 3D rotation with quaternions. Don't transfer naturally. Amazing. I mean, there are definite times when I feel like a proper imposter. So yeah, so what I was trying to do, I was just trying to remove the quote directory. Oh, that's interesting actually, yeah. So build quote doesn't need to say the directory anymore. So that goes away. That goes away. That goes away. Oops. Missing video tag. Oh no. Set made program is equal to ZSH this. Okay. So default quote directory. It's a bit disconcerting actually, the delay now, because previously, if it didn't complete instantly, I'd be thinking that it was in an infinite loop, but now I can't be so sure. But yeah, this does seem to be okay. So yeah, let's just do one quick check for quote directory again. Yeah. Quote not found, unlucky. Yeah, let's just test that actually. Quote not found. Unlucky. Don't think we need too many exclamation marks. I think that should suffice. Yeah, okay. So I remember what was it? Was like, what's that sound? It's distracting. I was like, that's maybe babe. Apologies to Creeper's wife. distracting. I suppose it's nice to be something, even if it is a distraction. Get at HTML.c. HTML.c. Yeah, and I guess she's not such a fan of the Mancunian accent as some people are. HTML. So this is pull from insobot's quote store. Pull from insobot's quotes. Quote store. It's all card. Okay. And also I could sort of tag this. Graphics is sexy. Wow, cheers. I believe, yeah, I think deployment, yeah. So 25. So yeah, I think that's okay. Performance quote store. Also fix the template. The forced integration. Right, yeah. Because I've done the bridge now. And then I can just tick this and that, which isn't technically GitHub API GET requests, and it's not this repo either. But yeah. God damn it! So there I was getting all blush-tastic. Yeah. Git push. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we're done for now. Oh, I wanted to do make a note actually, didn't I? To cache the stuff. What which videos? Honestly, Brian, I'm not exactly sure. Cache the quotes. Yeah, I'm not sure what Twitch are up to actually these days. I'll get there. Because I'm now recording myself, aren't I? Doing locally recording. That's weird. July the 28th. Where are we? July the, August the 9th. Maybe they've stopped keeping them for a month, maybe? Because I think that was the deal, wasn't it? They used to keep it for a month and then get rid. Yeah, I don't know. But all the ones that I wanted to keep are in PPIC. So only this afternoon's. Well, this afternoon's will kind of be there. Yeah, this is this afternoon's. And I'll be uploading that quite soon. In fact, how long have I been going? I've been going for 3.5 hours. Okay. So I can only do 6 hours a day. Intervals of random hints. It's probably son of Lucy. Learning what I know you hardcode the spaces. Is there not a better way to control it? Like have an indent number. And then prepend this value when you're printing out. Yes, probably actually, yeah. In fact, I think I mentioned this quite recently as well. Um, that was a possibility. It's a possible thing that I want to do actually. Um, but I was also sort of weighing up like, is it worth it? Because what we're talking about here um, is these guys. So I think because this is the out one, this won't really show it so well. If I go in out integrated, this should show some kind of discontinuities, like this here shouldn't really be there. That should be back there probably, and then all these guys should be indented a bit more. I think that's the only thing I can see in there that looks a bit odd. So yeah, I mean, there probably would be a better way of doing it. I mean, you probably want to say um, something like just the indent size for like the start of it, and then all of these actually follow on. Would that be correct? Unless maybe you have to do the indent for everything. But yeah, there probably is a smarter way of doing it. But I didn't really realise. I don't think I realised what the problem was going to be when I first did it. Asynchronous. But I think that'd be a cool thing to try and do actually, to figure out a way to actually do that in the indentation levels. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll do it just for the fun of it, just for the fun of figuring out how to do that nicely. At some point, I'm not exactly sure when, but I mean that'd be sort of like a bonus thing to do. Yeah, cache the quotes, git push. Is there included time? I was used not too old different from handling a text that is like for coder. Yeah. I don't actually know how you'll do it in a text editor actually. No, so for curl, well, oh, I don't need to know that. I don't think. But let's check out the notes and tick off the thing that we've done. So we've done the F flag and curling from insobot's new quote store. So the things left to do are the keywords. Consider using base 36. Clever spending of the topic hue saturation. Handle multiple annotators, co-hosts, and guests. Let's suppose URL to come down on the newest annotator. So yeah, I think the next time I'm going to try and do... I think I'll do the keywords because that should be a quick one. And then I think let's do the handle multiple annotators. And this, consider using base. That isn't really necessary in the immediate future, neither is that. And I think, yeah, I want to do the expose URL to the current time on this annotation. So yeah, I think that is what I think that is what I'll do. Put it on the spot. How come I don't use vocoder? So I think there are some things that I preferred about Vim. I mean, one of them is that I quite like to be using the terminal, honestly. And currently, because I'm not using a tiling window manager. I kind of use Tmux to do a lot of window management stuff, and Tmux can only do terminal stuff, terminal things. So that's one of the reasons. But if I was to move to i3, then that would no longer be a good reason, because I could just totally put vocoder into one of these, into a split. Vim keys is one of the things that I do actually quite like. You know, like the movement and navigation in Vim, I do prefer. And I can't remember if you can actually pass files to vocoder. So like you can run Vim like this, right? You can pass this file to it. I'm not sure if you can do that with vocoder. Oh, you can. So fine. But can you do multiple files? Well, that happens. That's interesting. Yeah, so that seems to be a bit busted. Loading multiple files. Wonder why. LL test. What is LL test? Oh, linked list test. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, so I guess that was another reason that you can't do that. So really, for me, it's the it's Vim navigation that I do like. Launching these guys like this, and you know, having a terminal kind of version. Yeah, so I think if those things were all fixed, then I think I would just be straight on vocoder, because I do want to use it. I want to use it because I like Alan and it's a handmade network thing. Yeah, there are a bunch of reasons that for me to use it. But I suppose at the moment it's just, I don't know, it's just these three things have a bit too big of a sacrifice, I suppose. My excuses. I did used to use vocoder for the practicing programming in C streams. but I think I stopped using it because I think well, I think I stopped using it for this very program, for HTML to HTML.c, because I think I was just copying and pasting a lot of HTML and wanted to do weird indentation with it, and I think I just found that more easy to do with Vim. I think. What is this? Let's email as well. There's no way it's just not where I need it. Yeah, I mean, I guess the movement and stuff is more based on Emacs, for starters. So yeah, I guess if you already use Emacs, it'd be an easier transition, as long as you can like do without having to open things like that. But yeah, that's roughly it, really. But yeah, we've been going for like 3 hours and 3/4. We've covered all sorts. We've covered the quotes, covered curling and quotes, and we've covered the flag again, the forced integration, and we've also covered complex numbers, believe it or not. We've watched a little bit of Handmade Hero, and I think it's about time for us to retire for the night. 2:15. So yeah, I've got no idea what I've got, how much energy I've got left to do what now. Probably not an awful lot. So yeah, I'm going to sign off for now. A veritable smorgasbord. Smorgasbord. Yeah. Smorgasbord. Smorgasbord, yeah. That is right. I always get that kind of a bit wrong. Shade enough of that was of those streams. Well, not a lot did actually happen in the last hour or so. We did have an interesting stream the other day though, when I was looking into the new ASAN error, the new ASAN bug. So I think that was yesterday. So yeah. But anyway, after that smorgasbord, in which nothing actually happened, well, thank you very much for being heroic and yeah, just generally fantastic and beautiful and awesome. And until next time, I'll bid you a farewell for now.